All right, some bad news and good news for you, Alice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I acknowledge that you look aesthetically well,
Thank you.
but that's as deep as it goes. I'm sorry. And today they foisted this thing, this Kathy Ireland thing from 1991 on me.
Mm-hmm.
Nada. Done. So I thought about this. So this.
You think it's permanent? Really?
I've never heard this being a thing ever in my life. Ever in my life. You'd figure this would be quickly Googleable, but it's not. I am not attracted to women. I am not at all. Which reminds me of why it's, in a sense, it's like great, like being at Market Basket and shopping, etc. Because like there are no distractions whatsoever. It reminds me of when I used to go to gay bars, and there was no pressure. There's no pressure because I'm not. There's no woman as a 9.5, a 10.0. There's no woman. Remember the woman who I used to want to approach at the Market Basket because she was like out of place 10.0 in the sketchy Market Basket. She has no power over me right now. I'm serious about that. Like
you're free finally at this stage of your life.
You have no power over me. Like none of you people. And if like you and I were to try to be romantic, like what are we gonna do like with milky soft? Like what is the point? What am I doing with that? I don't even know what I do. That makes no sense at all. So now
sorry about that. I wish I could provide you with something.
I know. Who knew that like waking up 2 nights ago?
That was an option.
Waking up 2 nights ago and like suddenly feeling a lot better, but if you're hitting it by a lightning bolt means, I don't know, maybe I stroked out. Is that a stroke thing?
I don't know. Somebody Google Tom's symptoms.
So
find out if suddenly being not uninterested in women is a COVID symptom or what.
But that said, so this is how I think that we can.
Is it like losing your sense of smell?
Well, yeah, and then not smelling stuff, I guess. Yeah, but so here's my feeling is that you know how you have to piece relationships back together once key elements are gone? Okay, so our relationship used to be a lot about that, so it's not anymore. But let me tell you something, Alice.
Okay.
I have found what I believe is the future. It is not anything sexual. That is gone. But I'm serious. But here's the thing. I was so like aroused by that pile of chopped red onions that you did for the tacos tonight on the way up here. I'm serious about this.
Sign.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that is like what a great sign that is. Now, like, and that's the thing. So like, you just put together the things that you do because the physical part that's gone. So like the chopping onions, like that is so great.
Trish says you're faking this to avoid baby number 6.
I'm not, Trish.
Mark says this is a good bit, but I'm not buying it.
I swear to God, Tim called today on my radio show and asked me. I've never had this before. I'm spending. You would see usually.
I wonder what would happen if you took one of the pills.
I don't know because I don't have any interest in women. Like the form, the form doesn't do anything. Like for me, you know, usually Instagram would feed me pasta and
women in bikinis.
Exactly. And like they both get. Now there's no reason. I wouldn't spend any more time looking at women in bikinis that I would like at aluminum siding. It's like it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't do anything. I'm telling you, it's not a bit. I hope somebody can find out what it is. I don't even need it to be fixed, to be honest with you. Because, like...
I wouldn't mind if it was fixed.
No, because, like, you know...
I mean, I like you liking me in that way.
Yeah. I will have to take somebody else's word for it that you're lust-worthy. I assume you are. You seem to be a presentable person, and... You can do those onions and you do other things that are interesting, but that's where we are now. I swear to God, like remember a few days ago, also I wasn't interested in food because
Michael Ben in the chat says he's not Googling your symptoms because his computer will think he's gay.
Yeah, Michael, but the thing is, and I get that, is that I'm not gay. I'm not lusting after men.
Trish wants to know if the pill works on other things, like maybe it'll give you the sudden urge to vacuum or to power wash the house or something.
Maybe it will. Actually, that's a great point. Maybe it will, since my biggest carnal desire is gone now. So maybe something's got to do it, but I don't know. I've never heard of this before. I think it's fascinating. It's interesting to be here. Doesn't really mean anything for me other than like not that
it's one less thing you have to do. I mean,
yeah, right.
It's like just something off the agenda.
Yeah. Google incognito window came by to check on me to see if I was okay. We just haven't heard from you for a few years. Everything, or is it something we did? It's like, no, guys, no, it's not you. Everything's fine. I guess go do your...
What was it you said in last night? You were like, I'm here. I'm on.
Yeah, that's my thing now. I'm technically on. But there's nothing to me. AI is now better than me. I don't have anything. Yeah, but it's okay. So let's get to, there's so much fun stuff to do. So much fun stuff to talk about. But that is not a bit. I am riding this. I'm in this adventure with you. I don't know what it is. So there's a lot happening. First of all, the Elon Musk. Two things that are happening in out there. One, Trump is saying whatever the frig he wants now. Two things happened tonight in the last few minutes that have happened, and then we'll get to the Elon stuff too, because everybody is panicking because of Elon Musk. Now, Donald Trump has just declared, among other things, that we've got new plans for Palestine, new plans for the Gaza Strip. Anyway, okay. Netanyahu just landed tonight. Netanyahu, looks from the face that he's making, is learning all this stuff for the first time.
The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, by the way.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply
Netanyahu's looking around.
Numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
He's also told, he's also said that they should all go to Egypt and other places and live out there, but nobody else wants them. At the same time, Trump added something here to this, which I don't mind at all. By the way, he is kind of right. I mean, it's a hellhole now. There's too much. It's a piece of crap place. They did it to themselves. But I understood him to say they can live somewhere happy, meaning they'll be elsewhere. And then the U.S. takes this over and creates resorts, which case I'm fine with that. I've got no problem with that. If they want to live somewhere,
I think Israel was thinking they would get to have it and make it resorts.
Well, who knows? But Ellis, maybe in a proxy way they kind of would have it. But the Palestinians no longer have to live in this open air prison, right?
Yeah,
where they're being
it's not bad there.
Right. And so here's Trump again taking another question.
Peter?
Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding was happening?
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest, toughest.
You hear that? But it's at home, sir. Trump could give an F.
Places on earth. And right now, it's
Netanyahu is now just smirking and grinning, because actually anything Trump says moderates whatever Netanyahu would have in mind, and he'd be absolutely for this.
I've seen every picture from every angle, better than if I were there. And nobody can live there. You can't live there. So if we can build them through massive amounts of money supplied by other people, very rich nations, and they're willing to supply it. If we can build something for them in one of the countries, and it could be Jordan, and it could be Egypt, it could be other countries, and you could build 4 or 5 or 6 areas. It doesn't have to be one area, but you take certain areas and you build really good quality housing, like a beautiful town, like someplace where they can live and not die, because Gaza is a guarantee that they're going to end up dying. The same thing's going to happen again. It's happened over and over again, and it's going to happen again as sure as you're standing there, Peter. So,
by the way, that's right.
Well, yeah.
If it's fixed up and they go right back in right now, they're going to do the same thing. Hamas will have all the tunnels, going to try on October 7th again, whatever.
I hope that we could do something where they wouldn't want to go back. Who would want to go back? They've experienced nothing but death and destruction.
So there's one more. Now, the press now is back to,
Well, and we've
good
talked
sir,
about.
you need to answer a question, sir. Hold on, let me play. This is Nora O'Donnell. Or no, the other, Kelly O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Prime Minister. You are talking tonight about the United States taking over a sovereign territory. What authority would allow you to do that? Are you talking about a permanent occupation there, redevelopment? And Mr. Prime Minister, do you see this idea as a way to expand the boundaries of Israel and to have a longer peace, even though the Israeli people know how important that land is to you and your citizens, just as the space is inherited by the Palestinians as well?
I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea.
Michael Ben says in the chat, Gaza Lago.
The United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent.
Isn't that wonderful? The Gaza and Hamas being relegated to a Trump construction project.
Well, I mean, that's what Trump's good at getting done, right? So,
Yes.
I mean, but fundamentally, it gets back to this argument that we talked about, but that's their home. This is a relatively new idea, this idea that you get to just keep any land that was historically yours, regardless of any wars or anything else that happens in between. I've told you before, my dad had an apartment in Croatia prior to the wars breaking out in Yugoslavia, and we don't own that apartment anymore.
Right.
That's done. We moved on. He moved to the United States. I don't know what to tell people. There's just we don't own that apartment anymore. We have no right to it. There's no legal way out, but you move on, right? And that was in the 90s. We're talking about people who are claiming a right to a land that they had 70, 80 years ago, when we talk about the Israel and Gaza stuff. And this new Gaza thing, that's new, but they've been acting like they've been calling it a refugee camp for 70 years and refusing to move on and build a country. So yeah, if you're not going to have a country because you're going to sit here and complain for 70 years, and the average age in Gaza, by the way, is 20. So most of the people weren't even alive during the times that we're talking about. You need to just start having a country at some point here.
Right.
Israel was also right there, and they started having a country. And they now have a tech sector and a real government and all this stuff. And Gaza doesn't. And why is that? It's because they've been too obsessed with trying to kill Jewish people for 70 years rather than moving on with their day and trying to build something new. At some point you have to. So yeah, Trump's saying, somebody has the right to use that space to build something good that will bring stability to the region. And my feeling kind of is either come be a part of it or go somewhere else, because you can't just sit here and be no, I'm in a refugee camp and I'm going to terrorist attack Israel for like 100 years. You need to stop at some point.
Well, right. And once again, you talk about the open air prison thing. Well, you're free.
Yeah, we've released you.
As far as I'm concerned, all of those people, and I've seen 100% of them clapping for that baby being being abducted, etc. I don't care. I don't care about them. I don't care.
Splash says in the chat, try telling people who are content living in the 6th century they can have golf courses and tiki bars. It's a recipe for failure.
We don't want them there. The idea is that they go somewhere else.
So either get on board with the tiki bars and the golf courses, or go do something else somewhere else.
Yes,
I
live
don't know.
somewhere else and be miserable somewhere else and clamor for the death of Jews and destroy everything that they've built for you, etc. I have no time for it. But I do think it's interesting that Trump is. Why not speak in big terms? Yeah, it's not normal diplomacy. It's hugely heterodox, but it's also, why not? Being orthodox in using traditional diplomatic tactics within the parameters of what you're allowed to talk about with the two-state solution, all that stuff, hasn't worked.
Right.
So put your money where your mouth is. Here, take this. Go somewhere else. See you later. I mean, the absolute truth is that Israel is a great experiment of a state. They took a patch of crappy desert and made it awesome.
Yeah, they have like a real country happening there now.
Right. And, they can make it awesome. They could make it awesome, too, for the Palestinians. But these people are into, we've got the people I'm supposed to be worried about who are beneath the rubble celebrate their sons, suicide bombing Israeli soldiers as a great thing, and you're getting money for it. And they don't think it's great, and they howl, and they cackle and howl when 9/11 happened. So F you. I don't care. I'm done. You guys suck. Sorry. Super sorry. But sometime if you want to join the 2025, then come on over to 2025. You'll notice that all of your Arab neighbors have. They're having like Israeli weddings and huge conventions.
More even like than we have in the United States. All these places are like modern.
Right.
Like Dubai and stuff.
Yes.
I mean, like, I don't know. Either join modernity with the rest of us or find somewhere else to be.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why, like, if you want to live in the 6th century, you can find some place to do that. But if you're going to simultaneously need to live in the 6th century and need everybody to provide everything for you so that you can live in the 6th century, and you also get to indiscriminately kill innocent women and children of neighboring countries because you don't like their ethnicity, then, like, I mean, what are we doing here?
Right. Okay, so the other thing we have to get to is the USAID thing. Musk.
I mean, I mentioned this last night that this whole USAID thing is a grift, and like you can really tell that you've hit Democrats somewhere where it hurts. And Trump didn't do this; he didn't go after this in his first term, but you can tell that they're like actually upset about this one.
They sure are. You're about to hear exactly how
they're actually. This gets some of them in their like pocketbooks in a way that they do not like. Now, of course, regular American people have not like heard of any of these programs and can't believe the things they do.
Anyway, they give away all sorts of stuff for woke causes all around the world. It's corrupt. It's fine. But here's the thing. Listen to this. So the thing is, Musk and this team of nerds that he's with.
Yeah, he's got like 5 autistic computer geeks that he's set upon the government.
Exactly. They're going in. Musk and his boys are going in and sleeping in federal OMB, Office Management and Budget buildings. Did you see the thing about this?
I saw like the server in the closet or whatever, and I saw
and they're sleeping in there, and he laughed. He put out a post over the weekend laughing and saying, "I can't believe all these government people all leave their stuff every weekend. They leave the office so we can just get through everything." And he can't believe it. He's making fun of it because, of course, they're going home at 5 on Fridays, which is what you do.
Yeah,
and him and his nerds are full of Diet Coke all night, all night.
And Adderall, probably.
And Adderall, staying up, going through all of this stuff, and it's absolutely fantastic. And it's really happening. And in the USAID, building in Washington, D.C., they literally, Trump and his guys, Elon and his guys literally like invaded through the doors. Listen to this, this is amazing that she says this.
But Elon Musk's influence is sweeping throughout the administration. It was late last week that the Doge team showed up at USAID offices in Washington and demanded access. USAID employee Christina Dry described the scene.
Doge was in the building. We took down our pride flags. I took out any books I felt would be incriminating. No one was talking. We heard they started taking transcripts automatically of all of our Google Meets. They unplugged the news in the little kitchen galleys.
Can you imagine?
It didn't feel good. And then Saturday, all of the websites went down, and then I lost complete access to my computer.
She had to take down all their pride flags.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the books that they thought might be trouble. Like, what are we pride flagging and trouble booking for in our government office, by the way?
Right.
We had to take them down. Our pride
Well, and like
flags.
then the website started to go down. Here's a good rule of thumb. Like, if you're worried about a big bloated thing like this, just turn a bunch of stuff off and then see what you need to turn back on. You know, like see what people like in terms of Doge and USAID, like turn it all off.
Well, sure.
And then see, like, okay, you know, maybe we give back PEPFAR funding. Like maybe we fix AIDS.
Well,
in
sure,
Africa.
but let's not get
You know,
past
maybe
her mindset.
Well, no, I know, but I want to say one more thing about that too, because she mentioned that the websites were going down. Did you see like I think it was Tim Miller post where he was like, rural.gov is down.
I didn't see that, yeah.
Can you believe it? After Trump promised to help rural people, now rural.gov isn't there anymore for them. Like, have you heard one rural person complain that rural.gov is no longer operating? Like, that's what I mean. It's like they just do stuff in these stupid offices. They deserve Doge to come through and bother them and take all their stuff and turn off all their websites because they're doing this all on the dime of the American taxpayer.
Well, right. And like what a tell it is, it says we have to take down our pride flags. Like she says that with a straight face. Our pride flags? As if it's like we had to turn in our pens. What is a pride flag doing there?
Right.
It's like there's not an official tool that you need for the office. That is a cultural statement, for frig's sake. We had to take down our pride. You didn't have to do anything. Your pride flags had no place in there anyway, you entitled POS. We had to hide the books that could get us into trouble. Well, keep your weird trans porn crap out of the... Every person like that, hopefully she has been so deleted from this place. But anybody who thinks like that, they're going to take down our pride flag. What is this happening that you think you're allowed to have your own pride flag? It's freaking amazing.
But they've been now so coddled by not just the Biden administration, but even the first Trump administration, the Obama administration, the Bush administration, like going all the way back. No one has stopped them from being like this.
Well, true.
And like Trump 1.0, probably just because he was ignorant to how horrifically infiltrated the entire government was top to bottom. And this is his answer to that.
Well, yeah.
Is his answer to saying part of the reason I couldn't get stuff done and couldn't fix America in my first term is that the government was filled with entrenched bureaucrats with pride flags who didn't want to do anything.
Right.
And
but
like,
also have this entitlement thing that said I mean, this position I have is mine. These walls are mine. These are my things. So she's appealing to people for empathy, saying,
right,
they made us take down my pride flag from my office in the job where I get to do all my things I want to do. Can you believe that? I had to move my books from my... These are all my things that I'm entitled to have around me. That's the scary thing to me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Ayanna Presley in front of the building.
Agitating. We will see you in the courts, in Congress, in the streets. Elon Musk is a Nazi netball baby. A godless, lawless billionaire who no one elected. Elon, this is the American American people, this is not your trashy cyber truck that you can just dismantle, pick apart, and sell the pieces of.
I guarantee you she has some constituents with Cybertrucks.
Yeah, I also think that this that her whole swerve that she uses has come and gone with no success, and I suggest we get off of this. It's not great. It's not great. This whole you need to listen to me. I'm speaking. I'm alpha lady. I've got a certain way, intonation I use, so you better understand. It has been so packed with incompetence and corruption in the public eye for the past 7 years that it's come up with a new character.
Yeah, this whole thing at this point, and it gets to like what we talked about with the DNC sound cuts the other day, that like this is just so tired and cringe. This entire thing. Trish mentions the drums make an appearance and the whole thing.
Of course.
Like,
Of course. Yeah, here's Chuck Schumer.
And we cannot allow Elon Musk and a small group of people to secretly, behind closed doors, take away our privacy, take away our dollars, take away everything we have. We are going to fight this fight. I am going to stand with you in this fight. And we will win. We will win. We will win. We will win. We will win.
It's a tough thing when it doesn't take.
that's terrible. It's funny that he called out the privacy. Do you have the Randy Weingarten cut about like how if they do this at the Department of Education, there's so much personal information there and all this stuff. And like, can you believe? What's crazy about this is it doesn't occur to them that they've all had all these pride flag people and incompetent, corrupt bureaucrats have all had all of our private information. That hasn't bothered them for decades.
With what you listed out, with these big functions being written into statute, meaning that it would take an act of Congress to change things about, do you think this is, are you saying you think this is more scare tactic and threat? Or do you think that this effort that's being led by Elon Musk and Doge will actually impact the Department of Education?
It will totally impact the Department of Education, but more than the Department of Education, it will impact individuals. Think about both in terms of Treasury and in terms of education, the amount of personal, private, financial information that that department has, just like Treasury has all the information of Social Security, all the information of taxes. In the Department of Education, it has so much personal information for people. So the question is, why is an unelected person who is taking this information, private information, from people who have trusted the Department of Education to give them their financial information? That, to me, is the scariest thing. Nobody elected Donald Trump or Elon Musk to take their private information.
Actually, we did elect Donald Trump.
Right.
And I don't recall, by the way, electing the Department of Education employees who have my private information. Do you?
No.
Or the IRS agents who have my private financial information. Did you vote for your local IRS agent?
No.
No, of course not. That's why people are mad. She's like so close, so right there. Can you believe unelected people have access to people's financial information and could abuse that? Oh my gosh, welcome back to 2012 and like the Obama IRS scandal stuff.
Right. And
well, I don't know exactly what year that was, but I think it was something like that, wasn't it? Those like Tea Party years?
Yeah,
2010, 2012 in there. Like, yeah, that was the whole thing, is that there's a bunch of unelected government departments that have people's private information and are abusing it for political purposes. They're prosecuting people. They're going after people under other departments, like people who apply for 501c4. Is that what it is? Those like
I think so.
PAC licenses and stuff that they were doing. That's exactly why this is happening to you right now, Randy. That's exactly why. Is because your team has had everybody's private information and has been going through it and abusing it. And now our team is going in and getting rid of your team, and now you're afraid that it might come back to bite you.
Right.
Just like with the Department of Justice. Just like with Kash Patel, they're like, oh, he could misuse the DOJ for political purposes. Do you realize how powerful the DOJ is? That could be really bad if somebody abused that for political purposes.
Well,
like, you're almost there.
Yes.
You're so close. Try listening to like one conservative news source, and I guarantee the connection will like come together for you.
And it also is worth saying that Randy Weingarten doesn't work for the Department of Education. She's with the American Federation of Teachers.
The Department of Education works for her.
Right. And that's really what she's worried about. She's not worried about your sensitive information. She's worried about her sensitive information and correspondence and her leadership of the Department of Education from behind her union thug desk. That's precisely what it is. Which, of course, I think is like the more we can show that stuff, the absolute better. Let me hit another highlight. This is Rep. LaMonica McIver is another Democrat who is at the AID. What's it called? USAID.
USAID.
We will not take this. We will fight back. Fight back. Fight back. And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and God damn it.
Can anybody talk to any of these shrieking psychotics about like mic technique at all, about what's happening now?
A little overmodulated.
Shut down the Senate! We are at war! Anytime a person can pay $250 million into a campaign and they be given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America, we are at war! We will not.
I thought we weren't supposed to say we're at war. I thought that was a dangerous climate.
Yeah, is that a dangerous anti-democratic? Also, I saw rumors on Twitter, and I don't know if this is just rumors, that Doge might go after PPP fraud.
There you go.
Which that will also be huge and upset a lot of people because there was a lot of PPP fraud. You know,
of course.
Like businesses with one employee called Free Money LLC saying that they had X amount of payroll that they needed or whatever.
Right.
So, and if they start going after that, it's going to be a bad look for a lot of people. So,
who in particular, you think?
I mean, I think a lot of Democratic constituents.
Oh, I think that's what you're saying. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. Let's see. Anything else we should get to? I don't really think so. Yeah. No, I can see that some progressives are saying that they think that it's, or some Republicans are saying they think that MAGA's embarrassed about tonight, the last 24 hours. Not at all. Not at all. This stuff. Do you
They
freaking
should
kidding
try
me?
talking to a conservative sometime and seeing what they're embarrassed about or upset about or excited about. Because I don't think they have any idea like what conservatives are thinking right now. But most conservatives I know are friggin' happy and thrilled. But you know, there's no. They haven't like talked to any conservatives, so they wouldn't know. MAGA's embarrassed. Like they're just saying stuff and hoping that it's true.
All right, Brady, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
I'm sorry. The January 6th woman you were talking about lost me at the word chisel.
What'd you say?
Oh, somebody just handed me a chisel, and next thing you know, some windows were broken. Yeah, it's like that scene in Goodfellas where the wives are talking, and it's like, did you hear this? That, they're at a card game, somebody pulls out a gun, the gun goes off. Give me a break. There's a line in the great book, The Friends of Eddie Coyle by George V. Higgins.
Yep.
This life's hard, but it's harder if you're stupid. That woman is an idiot, and
I'm sorry. She deserved every moment she was
Wrong.
behind bars.
Leave her alone.
F her. Thank you.
How dare you? Dare you?
So, someone I am connected with on LinkedIn commented on someone else's post.
Ooh.
This person had posted that their company had ended their DEI, whatever, and but it had nothing to do with the DOJ or anything. It was just something that the company was in the process of doing. And this guy says, well, he added his pronouns to his signature in defiance. And the person I'm connected to commented, "Thank you for your bravery."
Oh.
So there's the guy in Tiananmen Square standing in front of a line of communist Chinese tanks. And then just below that dude is this guy who added his pronouns. That's bravery, Tom 105.
Yeah, I know. I believe me, I can't do it anymore. The social media thing is like too many people, and this is one of the reasons why. Like, I just don't trust anybody. I'm not going to see my doctor again. I don't care if I die. I'm going to die, and I don't care. He's a psycho. Too many people in fields like psychology.
Your doctor's
fields.
office sent a letter, by the way, asking when you'll be back.
I'm not going to be back. Tell him to use somebody else's ass for his enjoyment. It also, like, there's too many credentialed and once important, respected occupations and fields that I have no respect for. I don't trust them. I do not trust them. I see what they're saying on Facebook. A lot of them make a lot of money as bioengineers, etc., as serious people who have underlings who they condescend to, even though the underlings aren't having a hysterical hissy fit, but they are. I've had enough. I have had enough. This country is made. There are too many people. My generation is not exempted, but we're not leading the charge here. But millennials and younger who are absolute psychotic, total pussies, and I don't trust you. I don't trust you because you're emotional. You're too emotional. Pussies.
Hi, Steve from Merrimack.
Hey, Steve.
Another thing about the January 6th lady.
Yes.
You know, I quoted that scene in Goodfellas.
Yes.
Where they're, the card game, whatever. There's a line at the end of that scene where one woman says of another, "She is no angel, believe me." Thank you.
How dare you? She did her time, Steve. She did her time. My goodness. What do you want from the lady?
I mean, in a sense, I agree with Steve because I don't think anybody should be breaking windows at the Capitol.
She broke a window, Alice. She's done her time. Okay? It's been 4 years. Can you leave her alone?
What I'm saying is that I think that the sentencings were disproportionate at the January 6th cases to make an example out of people more so than you would get if you broke a window at the local state house or something.
I want everything, every time I defend a woman now, like this lady especially, I want to have 50 times credibility because
you're not attracted to women.
I'm not attracted to any woman. So this is based merely on the merits at this point. Steve Merrimack, her chisel was scary. Oh, God, pathetic.
Thank you so much for listening,
By the way,
everybody.
Steve, your little box full of Trump items has now been looted. So there you go. You got that with your chisel.
Tommy's picture has not been looted.
No, Tommy, yours is safe.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. I agree with you, Steve. But I mean, kind of. I do think her sentence is disproportionate. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you want to join us in the
talk about no
things
honor.
Are nuanced.
Talk about no honor.
Things are nuanced.
There was a time when I would think that was acceptable just because you're attractive. That does not work anymore. No, you're judged just like the guys now, Alice. You're going to the gallows.
Thanks for listening. If you want to join us in the live chat, patreon.com/burnbarrel. If you want to listen for free, burnbarrelpodcast.com. There's the link for the chat, all different places to listen: Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts.